What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to put on a Willwood brake kit for the Mark II. If you saw my last track day video, you can pretty much tell the only way I was able to slow down was just by downshifting. I mean, pedal to the floor, terrible brakes the entire day. And I'm kind of just done with it. So I went ahead and spent the money, got a kit which I think will work. I'm going to show you that install, and then next weekend is an autocross practice, and we'll see if it works. So let's start with the install today. Let's get to work. I just did the install on the driver's side. I'm going to move and show you guys what the install looks like on the passenger side. But before I do, I think it's a good time just to go ahead and show you where I'm going, what I'm coming from, and what I'm going to. So it's pretty simple where I'm coming from. Carbotech XP10 pads on a stock cast iron VR6 Mark III or Corrado caliper, stainless steel lines, of course, and some high temp, expensive brake fluid. And I like Carbotech a lot. I've had very good luck on their pads, with their pads on other cars, but for some reason I was not able to get the performance braking out of this setup, and I don't think it was because of the pads, quite frankly. With that being said, this is a factory rotor. It's about 1 inch thick. It's 11.3 inches in diameter. It's the same rotor size that comes on Mark III GTI VR6s from 96 Plus, as well as Corrado 96 Plus VR6 cars. So this is the biggest kit offered of that generation of car. Now, MMP, who is what I'm going to, offered a kit with an 11-inch rotor. So it's, again, just very slight difference in overall size, and it's slightly thinner. This kit, this brake rotor, comes on a 95. So the first year of the Mark III GTI with the VR6 with the 5-lug hubs came with these slightly smaller rotors before they upped them. Now, the big reason I'm going down in rotor size right now, because the adapters work, the kit's known. There aren't very many adapters for the 11.3 because it was just like a one-off, couple-year stint. The other great part is MMP offers a two-piece rotor in 11-inch. So if I want to increase my braking performance from where I'm going to next to the next level, I can go to two-piece, add more cooling. And then on top of that, they also offer a 13-inch two-piece system that's custom to them as well. With a different adapter, I can go from 11-inch to 13-inch. The same caliper pads and everything else will work. So what I'm trying to do is make the investment now, keep my consumables super cheap, because this is a $7 rotor from Rock Auto. And I went ahead and just bought their kit with their adapters. It's a Willwood Dynalite. I think these are the newer ones. They don't have this crossbar and are much stiffer. So that was another selling point as to why I went to the big 4-piston versus some of the smaller 4-piston Willwood systems. And yeah, so I get to grow from a 15-inch wheel, so I keep my consumables, cheap on tires because they're 40 bucks a tire, $7 per rotor. The pads are like under $100, and get to figure all that out with this braking system, and then move into something bigger as my top speed increases, or I just need more braking performance from there. There are some changes going to happen in the rear, but I don't have all the parts in right now to do the changes in the rear. So for now, I'm just going to show you guys the install of the front and specifically this adapter. All right, let's get to work. Here's something you have to think about when working with this kit, and I imagine others are like this as well, but what you want to make sure is the rotor is centered, right, with all the various different combinations of spindles and rotors and all the machining tolerances and things like that. A slider piston setup can compensate for that very easily, so there's no real precision that needs to be had for the actual placement of where this caliper bolts onto the spindle. But when you go to a 4-piston setup like this, it's very easy for the rotor itself to be tracked all the way to one side. So on the other side, and the kit comes with these are 1/2 mil shims, and on the other side a 1/2 mil shim worked out perfectly. And this side is at least consistent. So now you can see the center of my calipers in the center of the rotor, and I've got pretty much even spacing on both sides. And that's what you want. And I pre-installed these half mil, these little guys right here, because the other side already took it. I didn't know if this side was going to have to be any different or not, but it looks like they are, again, at least the same. So again, something to think about, and that's just there to balance the placement. So one side of the pistons don't have to go out further than the other, and you get full travel, and you don't have to worry about anything popping out, and you'll have a better system altogether. So I'm now going to take this back apart, torque down the adapter plate bolts here in a second to 44 foot-pounds, just like the instructions say, and we'll move on. But yeah.
valve? 16 valves.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good, man.
16 valve, made by Honda.
Huh?
It's made by Honda, though.
It really is? Can I see?
Yeah, well, you can pop the hood.
Okay.
You know how to use arrow catches. Mindy, I got
Okay, everybody. So the test day was supposed to be dry, and it's not. The lot honestly doesn't have a whole lot of grip even in the dry, and it was pretty much pouring down rain the entire time. So we never got any dry runs or anything like that. But I can say the brake feel, the brake modulation, once the pads were bedded in, felt great. I mean, all things considered, super happy with the performance of the kit. I'm going to do a better review on performance as we get into the track, because I really think that's where, you know, you're going to see the big gains. So I don't know if it'll be back to Summit Point Shenandoah circuit, which would be great. Maybe it'll be down to VIR. We'll figure it out at some point here in the near future. But long story short, super happy with the product. Fit and finish is great. Momentum Motor Parts, I've called Robin a couple times, and we've talked through the whole philosophy, and quite frankly, super helpful, super knowledgeable person. And I really recommend using them. This is not a sponsored ad or anything like that. I mean, I paid full price for everything, but I do want to give credit where credit's due. and I do think the kit was phenomenal. So I'm really excited to test on the track and go from here. But with that said, I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of footage that I've just collected over the day. Justin and I were driving, had a couple different passengers, and yeah, just enjoy. Thanks, bye.
I couldn't see shit. I was like trying to pay attention.